Here's the solution to Day 2, Problem 1. In question A, it says, identify the x-intercept and y-intercept for the graph of this linear equation. And then in Part B, we're going to graph a line on the grid to represent this equation. So let's start with Part A. The first thing we're asked to figure out is the x-intercept. So let's think about what x-intercept means. X-intercept is a dot on the x-axis, which is this line here running across the middle of the grid. And it is the dot on this line that a line will pass through. So for instance, if you were to draw a line on this paper and it went like this and it happened to cross this spot, that's the x-intercept at -2. We're asked, what is the x-intercept for this equation? To find this, we just need to realize that any dot that's on the x-axis will have a y-coordinate of 0. Because you don't move up or down on the y-axis at all. If a dot is on the x-axis, you move over to the dot, but then you go up 0 or down 0, however you want to think of it. That means the y-coordinate of any dot on the x-axis is 0. And we could make use of that fact to figure out the x-intercept. Take this original equation, and where the variable y is, substitute 0. So 3x, take away 2, parenthesis, let's fill in 0 for the variable y, equals to 12. 2 times 0 is 0, so that means 3x is equal to 12. And then solving this, 3 times 4 equals to 12. So x is equal to 4. As an ordered pair, that is 4, 0. Now let's get the y-intercept. The y-intercept is a dot on the y-axis where our line that we graph passes through. So maybe a line passes through the 5. That would mean the y-intercept was 5. Or maybe when we draw a line, it passes through -2. That would mean that the y-intercept is -2. But to figure out y-intercepts, it's important to realize that any dot on the y-axis will have an x-coordinate of 0. Because to be on the y-axis, that means you don't move to the right or to the left on the x-axis at all. You just stay at the 0 on the x-axis and then go up or down to wherever you need to for your y-intercept dot. And so to find the y-intercept, we can take this original equation and put in a 0 for the variable x. Let's do that. 3 parenthesis, fill in 0 for x. And then minus 2y equals 12. 3 times 0 is 0. And so that's like having just -2y equals to 12. -2 times -6 is equal to 12. And so y is equal to -6. As an ordered pair, that's 0, -6. And so we figured out our x-intercept is 4, 0. And we figured out our y-intercept is 0, -6. In question B, when we want to graph a line for this equation, we can make use of these two dots that we figured out because these two dots are on our line. So first of all, 4, 0. Let's find that. Here's the origin. 4, 0 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there is the x-intercept dot. Okay. Now let's figure out where 0, -6 is. Here's the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's -6, and so you put a dot here. That's the y-intercept. And with those two dots, draw a line through them. So this diagonal line is the visual representation of this math equation. Now, day 2, problem 2. The cost of music lessons, C of n, is a function of the number of lessons n. The instructor charges a $25 material fee plus $12 per lesson. Question A, write a function equation for the situation. What a function indicates in this particular problem is it's a word that's referring to there being a relationship between the cost of buying some music lessons and the number of lessons that you pay for. There's a relationship between them. The cost of the lessons is going to depend upon the number of lessons you pay for. The word function gets at that idea. Now in question A, we're asked to write a function equation for the situation. We want to write an equation that shows how the cost of music lessons depends on the number of lessons. So let's do that. To write an equation, there's going to be numbers, there are often variables, and there's certainly going to be an equal symbol because all equations have an equal symbol. Now in this problem, we're told all of the variables and numbers that we need to use to do this. Okay? So the cost of music lessons, we are told to use the symbols C of n. So C of n equals. This means the cost of music lessons equals. Okay? Let's read a little bit further. How much does the cost of music, or what does the cost of music lessons equal? The instructor charges $25 for materials. So $25 plus, okay, plus, and now $12 per lesson. But we're told to use the letter n to represent the number of lessons. So if it costs $12 per lesson and we use the letter n to be the number of lessons, in symbols that can be written as 12n. And so here is our function equation. This means the cost of music lessons is equal to $25 plus 12 times the number of lessons. Now we can use that equation to solve part B. Use the equation to find the cost of 4 lessons and 8 lessons and 20 lessons. So let's first find the cost of 4 music lessons. So the cost of 4 lessons, notice how I'm replacing the letter n, which is representing number of lessons, with the number 4 because the number of lessons is 4 here, is equal to 25 plus 12 parentheses, and for the letter n, again, fill in 4. Okay. What's this make? C of 4 equals, right, the cost of 4 lessons equals 25 plus 12 times 4 is 48, and 25 plus 48 is $73. So we figured out that the cost of 4 lessons equals $73. We can use our function equation to find the cost of 8 lessons. So C of 8 equals 25 plus 12, and fill in 8 for n. And let's see what this makes. 12 times 8 is 96. And now we need to figure out what 25 plus 96 is. Okay. That is going to be $121. And next, we need to find the cost of 20 lessons. So let's figure out C of 20. So 25 plus 12 times 20. And that means that C of 20 is going to equal 25 plus 12 times 20. 12 times 2 is 24. So 12 times 20 is 240. And 25 plus 240 is $265. Okay. So what we've done here is we've created a equation to show us the cost of buying different amounts of music lessons. And this equation can be used multiple times to figure out the cost of 4 lessons or 8 lessons or 20 lessons or however many lessons that we want to figure out.